stuff from the Lost World. These are all creatures and dinosaurs that were created and were inspiration for things that were going to happen inside the computer. The challenge in Lost World is to create dinosaurs that were even more real than what we saw in the first film. And the audience has a certain expectation, and you want to exceed what they can anticipate. Alias Wavefront gives us the ability to work and build up models quickly, to recreate surfaces, to create dinosaurs within the computer that live and breathe, and allowed us to make creatures in a shorter amount of time than would have been possible before. The software allows us to create complex surfaces, and there's 100 different ways you can create a surface inside of the software. You can bi-rail surfaces together. You can create boundaries. You can create swept surfaces. You can rebuild surface to whatever resolution you want to. There's infinite control over all the points and how one point flows into another. And all of those things put together allow you to have a very powerful package of tools to create organic forms, which is very difficult to create in the computer. I think that the work that we've done on Lost World is really state-of-the-art and cutting edge. I think you're looking at the best dinosaur imagery you can create today. And we use Alias Wavefront as a major part of that process.
We're on a location here on Monte Joe Young in Ventura County. When you're on a set and on a location, things change. It's basically a dynamic process. And you need to be present so you can help the filmmaker make the best choices.
Where are they going to land?
On Con Air, DreamQuest definitely was on the set. I think Alias Wavefront really helped us both in the compositing of the shots. There's some very elaborate, very large-scale miniature shots that had to be composited with live action, as well as some CG-type things, such as the Corvette that's being dragged between the C-123 that is used in the film. That's actually a CG Corvette dragging behind along with its cable. The plane was done with a real C-123, but in the sequence it's been damaged along the way, and so it's spewing this kind of plume of oil and soot out the back, basically like a trail, contrail. And so many times that wasn't possible to do because of the winds, or they just weren't able to actually project it. So what we did is we used the particle animation process of Power Animator to give the illusion of this trail coming out the back. There's a scene in the Con Air where there's a man opening a box that turns out to be a bomb. It explodes and a big door comes out. We use Composer to do the compositing and the Power Animator to animate the door. DreamQuest is a big Alias Wavefront user. I mean, that's basically the software that we use to do both our compositing and our 3D work. It's a very important tool in our industry.
I use Alias Wavefront Power Animator at Digital Domain for the character animation that I do there. The Mercedes-Benz Rhino commercial was a commercial about advertising side impact airbags. They picked the Rhino to be kind of a metaphor for like a concrete jungle in New York, a dangerous area where you might get into a lot of problems with that kind of driving situation.
You're inside a protective cage with front airbags and, get this, side airbags.
We used Alias Wavefront's Power Animator to do all the modeling and animation because we really like to use the constraint-based IK systems and using the expressions for the muscles and the folds and all the secondary animation that we needed to automate.
I'm Virtual Andre. My sir.
Alias Wavefront fits into our motion capture pipeline effectively because it allows our software development team to use the open architecture to really supplement what Alias has and also supplement what we really need internally with our in-house tools. So they work fantastic together. I'm working with clients on a day-to-day basis. It needs to be very, very quick. It needs to have great turnaround, and it has to have good results at the end, and that's what Alias Wavefront does for me.
Nice game. You suck.
In Fifth Element, the director had a very stylized, very different art direction for this movie. We had to do things that weren't really done before, and one of those things was building New York City 300 years from now. We had to build a whole city within a computer. So it was going to be a lot of data. One good thing about Power Animator is the fact that it's very flexible. We were able to optimize our model and just streamline it down so that it became very, very light. And we got render times that were really, really good. The lights in Power Animator are really flexible. We were able to use them in a whole bunch of ways. I came up with like ways to use lighting that, as far as I know, no one's ever done before. It was just too bizarre.
The Relic is a movie about a monster that goes through a museum and tears people apart. The director basically wanted the creature to move like a lion and big cat kind of thing. And so we did a lot of research into watching footage of big cats, and Alias Wavefront was instrumental in putting in that type of movement. I knew because of the short schedule that right off the bat, off the shelf, we were going to be able to use Alias Wavefront Power Animator to get all the muscle deformation and skinning of the creature done, do all the modeling of the creature. Studio Paint 3D is another tool that we used from Alias Wavefront heavily on the project. We needed to really efficiently paint the surfaces and actually go through multiple variations of the skins of Cathoga. And it was good to be able to do multiple resolutions for these things. By the end of the movie, the director changed the whole ending of it and had him on fire and running around. That was a pretty easy process to go through.
Ring of Fire is a digital effects and design company using all the latest and greatest technology. The real test is the commercial market, because you're dealing with very strict deadlines, very high-profile work, and very demanding clients. So there's no room for error. One such commercial, for example, is the Kia Snow Dome spot we did. And it was a great project because it incorporated miniatures, live action, and computer-generated images, and we had to integrate the three in a very seamless fashion. We created the snow elements within Dynamation and used them in Composer, hand-animated certain 3D objects, as well as used the flow in Dynamation as an overall effect.
I love being able to play with real-time animation. Lois and Clark is a very effects-driven show. The effects have to be over the top. They have to be great and wacky and bright and very visible. Well, Alias Wavefront is an essential part of making these effects, because we need to be able to get some simple models out there, get some textures done, get some geometry to follow for the particles, and put it all together and render it, and it's got to happen fast. The effects on a show like Lois and Clark need to be very interactive, and Alias Wavefront provides a kick-ass tool for that sort of work.
Contact is a movie about space and what's out there and how we react to a possible situation of alien contact. My main challenge was modeling and creating interesting and complicated models that were to be used in the movie. I like Alias Wavefront, the modeler, especially because it gives me a hands-on feel to creating a model. I can manipulate images and take different tangents to different solutions. Speed in the creative process is very important to me, in that I like to think quickly on my feet and do changes as soon as possible. And the tools in Alias Wavefront allow me to do that.
Novacom is an international company dealing with network and station packages around the world. The Olympics project that we did was commissioned by the Olympic Organizing Committee, and it's been an award-winning project for us.
One of the nice things about Alias Wavefront is the Dynamation package. When the designers came to us with the project, We knew we had to have a package that could create flames and be able to recreate flame in a fast and efficient way. The texturing in the product is really nice. We can take and import just about any type of imagery and create shaders and textures and place those on the models to come up with the desired look. It really makes the project sing.
I've been using Alias Wavefront software for about 10 years now, so I'm comfortable with it. Anaconda is about a big snake running through the jungle, and chasing people down, eating them. Alias Wavefront software allowed us to model the snake very quickly, allowed us to make changes to the geometry, and their open model interface allowed the software group to write code for the effects that we needed to do. And one of the effects was to have the snake swallow a humanoid figure. The body had to reflect the body shape of the person being swallowed. The trick to making things stand out digitally is the amount of details you put into the model. So like a lot of people will rely on texture maps, whereas we actually build in a lot of the little details so that you can actually catch high quality light, highlights on surfaces. And Alias Wavefront allows us to do that.
ウルトラマンは、日本の有名なヒーロー、すごく有名で、30年ぐらい前からウルトラマンとても光栄なことでした。今回は2作目になるんですが、
パワーアニメーターだとよく出るんですけど、よく出るんで、パワーアニメーターを使って結構うまくできたっていう部分も大変よくありました。
それからパワーアニメーターの方では、アニメーションをやっている時にもっとこうエクスプレッションをかけたりとか。
Alias Wavefront very cool.
Spawn is a motion picture based on a comic book, and he has a lot of superpowers that he controls. He has a cape, he has chains that come off of him, he can transform his armor into various weapons. Initially, obviously, it was very challenging to come up with a way to have this cape be alive. In this case, the best package for getting the cape simulation and all the other things that we needed to do for Spawn, for the physical simulations, was Dynamation Alias Wavefront. I think the two big challenges were the cape and saliva and goo and slime, and those were central to using Dynamation. We ended up developing a system that let us have saliva hanging off him, and it would react to his motion, and we used Dynamation for that. And I think that takes creatures to a next level of realism. He's always being slammed around somehow, but he's getting slammed into the wall, and the wall breaks open, and you have dust particles and debris. Dynamation has by far the most advanced and most open package that I've been aware of, and that's the reason we use it, because it works.